So what we're seeing is there's less jobs, but the actual unemployment rate, which is a measure of, the percentage of people who are actively looking for work or in work, has actually dropped over this period. So we've had this disconnect, if you like, between the reality that more people are out of work, and obviously we also have a lot of people in Australia relying on disaster relief payments at the moment, and the unemployment rate, which isn't really reflecting what's happening in the economy.
Yeah, more than 100,000 people out of work and another 129,000 stopped looking. Is this likely to be the worst month of figures, or do you anticipate they're going to get worse?
It's going to be interesting to see. So we did see, this is the first month we've really seen the impact in Victoria. So the majority of these job losses were in Victoria for sort of a timing issue. It missed the beginning of our this latest lockdown in Victoria last month. I think we might see a deterioration again next month before things improve, with the opening up obviously in Sydney at the moment and across New South Wales, and fingers crossed in Victoria in a couple of weeks. This is probably the low point in terms of employment. But in terms of unemployment, I think we're actually going to see that going up in the months ahead, because we'll see people coming back looking for work again. Those that haven't been looking for work, they then get counted in the numbers, and so that percentage figure will go up.
And women have accounted for 60% of job losses since June. Why are women so highly represented?
Look, for a number of reasons. Women are more likely to be in casual work, so in secure work, so more likely to be let go when times get tough. Women are also overrepresented in a lot of the industries that have been really heavily affected. So we think retail, we think hospitality, we think hairdressing, some of those service industries that have been impacted by the lockdowns are overrepresented by women in those industries. So women will get back into work, hopefully, once things open up. But particularly young women have really felt the brunt. So out of those figures, since June, 280,000, 55% of those are young workers. Now, they only make up 15% of the overall labour market, but they've been hit really hard. And of those young workers, 70% are female. So young women have really been hit hard through this pandemic. And look, hopefully they bounce back, they get back into work, but they'll probably feel the effects of this loss of work and loss of employment for a long time into the future.
Yeah, which is obviously pretty concerning. The figures also show that while young people make up 15% of the labour market, they account for more than half of the job losses, and women are highly represented there. Is that the same sort of thing, that they're working in that insecure part of the labour force?
Yeah, exactly. So they're more likely to be in those hospitality, retail type jobs that have been hit really hard. These figures are actually worse, though, than they were last year, which is interesting. So I think what we're seeing is perhaps, an accumulated effect on these workers and an overrepresentation. We worry about young people because the scarring effects are likely to be longer. If they get out of work, they might find it harder to get back into work. They might not get back into such a good job and such a well-matched job. So we really have to be careful, I think, and look at the policies that we have over the next 6 to 12 months in particular, that those young people are getting back into jobs, they're getting back into good jobs, secure jobs, so that these impacts don't impact a whole generation for sort of the next 10 or 15 years.